Good morning. Good Monday morning to you. Well, we got some beautiful weather here. Over the weekend I've been very busy and didn't get a chance to get on the computer too often. I usually do that when the weather's nice. I usually do that in the evening. So that's when I answer my comments. A lot of the comments come through automatically. And some of them have to be approved by even my best viewers. I don't know why. I've mentioned this before. So I had a problem with one of my viewers, who I'm not going to mention any names, but who literally called me a liar and says, "You are at the computer." There are comments that come through even after I posted, he said. And that could be very well true, because for some reason comments do come through automatically by some of my regulars, but most of my regulars have to be approved. I cannot change that. I tried over and over again, but I just wanted to make a mention. But being called a liar and everything, I had it with that particular person. I'm not mentioning any names, and I was going to end that subject right now. Yesterday I did some work. I painted that overhang over the door there. It needed it. I cleaned it down real good and painted it with some high quality latex house paint. I mowed the grass, such as it is. Now, this is what I call my vibrating mower, okay? I cleaned it up. This thing here never fails to start. It's a Tecumseh engine. Never did carb work on it, because I can anyways. And I bought that about 1990. Always kept it in the shed. That's the key to these decks not rusting out. Keep them in a shed. Do not throw them and put them in the yard with a tarpaulin over it, because all your moisture is going to get up underneath and rot it out. The problem is the lawn in front. What little grass there is, it's mostly moss. This here is about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches off the ground. Okay, there don't seem to be any adjustments on that. But all your wheels are loose. I priced them. They're about $7 for a 7-inch wheel each at my local hardware store. So I'm going to put $14, $28, about $30, counting the tax, into this. And what if the engine blows tomorrow? What if the carb goes? Because I can't rebuild carbs. I'm a failure. Can't even talk today. I am a failure when it comes to carbs. Okay? I'll admit that. This here does not have a safety on it. I will not allow my son to use it. My son is not careful when he does things. Nobody runs this but me. There used to be a bar on here years and years ago. You're talking 15 years ago. That, you had to hold down to keep it, and then when you release it, it'll shut off. That's been eliminated. I put this here on it to shut it off. But this is the actual shut off here. But I never did anything with it. But 3.5 horsepower. The problem I've got here is I hate to put $30, at least $30 in the wheel. Now, I haven't gone to Home Depot to see how much they get, but even if the wheels are $5 a piece, I don't know. But let's just say 7-inch wheels, probably about 1 inch wide. They're all loose. They're all worn out. I put a set of wheels on this thing, and then, like I say, the engine craps out. then I've thrown that money away. Gone are the days you used to be able to, for $89, buy a push mower, because that's about what I paid for this in 1990. Now back here, as I said, you do need a push mower. You need a push mower to get around the trees and stuff like that, into areas like this, and you need a push mower. The problem I've got out here, and I'm going to show you, yesterday afternoon, late in the afternoon, I mowed. But you see, the wheels are so wobbly. The soil is dry. But this is what I'm dealing with here. And I'm pushing hard, You need a lawn here, but it's not my place to do that, Down here it's not bad, but where I'm mowing, the mower, it's very uneven, And when I'm mowing, I'm going into the ground. You can see the tire tracks here. Over here, it's not bad. But, it's a lot of work pushing, and it gets, you really have to push your guts out to get through some parts of this here. Not because of the grass. There's just stragglers here growing, But in that area there, it's very bad. And there was some high scragglers, so I needed to... This is what I call scragglers right here, okay? I had to go there. I haven't finished yet. It took me 2 days, I've been working on this, because I can't work in the hot sun. The sun was very warm, but the humidity was low, so it's tolerable. Down here, it's not a bad area, not true here. I did this yesterday. I sure do miss my rider mower. Now, I'm going to repeat again, because one of my viewers again asked me what happened to your rider mower. I made a video on that. I described it, but, I guess, you can't watch every one of my videos. That's, probably quite boring. A couple years ago, I had my rider mower once about this time of the year. Took it out to try to use it, and took it out of my shed up there. The little shed that I keep my my mower in, and pulled it out and was going to start it. And I normally keep mothballs in there, but I neglected it all winter. I didn't open the thing and renew the mothballs, so they were all dissolved. And there was about 2 inches of black tar-like substance, mice piss and crap and everything else, on top of the flywheel. It was totally destroyed. It would have been, you would have had to use a power washer, which I do not own, and it was hopeless. So what I did that day is I took it out, I pushed it down to the side of the road out there, put a sign on it, free. Now, I paid $200 for that mower, and it's a 1993 model, Murray. And the guy I gave it to, who came and picked it up, never returned 2 nice bungee cords. The liar, I would give him a mower. I remember mentioning that in the video, and he never returned my bungee cords, which he promised that he needed to hold up his tailgate for the tractor. So that's the story on the mower. Even though it was stored in here, it was kept out of the rain, but it's not mice-proof, That rider mower that I did have had a 42-inch deck. It would not fit through here, okay? This was designed for the snowblower, which is way in the back, and the push mower, which is now here. In the wintertime, I play musical yard equipment. So in the wintertime, I'll put the push mower back there, stand it up on end, and bring the snowblower out here. But the rider mower always had to be outside. So again, I'm going to repeat myself for those of you who want to know why I don't have the rider mower anymore. I sure do miss it. It was very convenient. It had the wide, big tires on it, and I didn't have to worry about those areas of digging in because it was big, and you just drive right over it. And you don't need to make 150, 200 passes with this little 20-inch cut or whatever it is. So, do I want another rider mower? Yes, but it would have to be kept outside. And can I afford one? No. Can I afford another push mower? No. Okay? I'm not crying poverty, I'm just stating fact. And that's one thing about me, I tell it like it is. If you don't like it, watch some other videos. Okay? So, I could go to Home Depot and get, well, matter of fact, I probably will later today, get a price on wheels because my hardware store is very expensive. But I had to start there to see what they have. And they have a good assortment of the plastic wheels, which is what these are, okay? And let me see now, gas tank is up that way. I'll be doing a John. Hi, John, from Arkansas. How the hell do you work one-handed, for crying out loud? Hang on a minute. Need two hands to turn that over. Okay. It's not too bad in the front. But I feel that if I had better wheels on here, because you see it's all worn out. There's like a bolt. Looks like a 5/8 head on it, not sure. And they're bolted down in here, okay? And their wheels are all cracked. On the inside you can really see them. We'll see that there. Alright. But, I mean, hell, this is 1990 I bought this. This thing don't owe me anything. I took some carb cleaner and sprayed it, and stupid me, I didn't have a goggles on, and guess what? It kicked back and went right in my eye. I'm just now starting to see clearly. I can see clearly now. Stupid me, I know. Never use that stuff without goggles or glasses. All the years I've used carb cleaner on things, I've never got it in my eyes, and I never use glasses. I know. You don't have to tell me. All right, so the question is, do I want to put wheels on this thing, or do I want to get another push mower? Now, I'm always hitting rocks. Always. So that's why, the blade is dull as hell. Again. I can't be putting a blade on every month. Okay, let's start her up. That's a 1990 Tecumseh engine. Hi, John. You have one of these? I gotta needle you, just like I do Doug. Alright, so you can see that this thing is great. I mean, how many, what is it, 1990, now I gotta count on my fingers. 29 years. That's when I bought it, 1990. My son was 3 years old when I bought that. So, do I want to put wheels on it? That's the decision I gotta make. But I still got a vibrating mower, only because the blade is out of balance. Because when you go around this yard here, not so much here. I need to go around the trees and everything, and the way the trees are here, you see how the roots are way up out of the ground, But we're not too worried about the back. When I had my rider mower, you remember I had Uncle Dorkel riding on it? You hit rocks in various areas, like here, you know. It's very big and I'm not able to get at it. I tried it with the pry bar and everything else. It's just too big. So I just go around it. But you're not careful. Sometimes you hit rocks. So all it takes is to nick the blade, and first thing you know, the blade is out of balance. Here's another one here. I did all this yesterday. Now, it's about 2 inches off the ground, as I can tell, 1.5 to 2 inches off the ground. Now that's 7-inch wheels. Because of this area over here where I showed you, down here, all right, where the sun is hitting, maybe if I put 8-inch wheels on that, that'll get me up another inch off the ground. It won't be as short of a cut, but less apt to hit a rock and less apt to dig in. The problem is, if I get wider wheels, which would be very good, they won't fit on the axles that are on there now, which I showed you looks like a bolt that comes through. So it's a real pain without that rider mower, up and down, back and forth, back and forth. Talk about getting my exercise. I don't mind pushing the mower, but when I get into certain spots where all that loose soil is, dry soil too, wait until it rains and then it's a mud hole over there. I'm pushing my guts out. I'm all worn out by the time I'm half done. So it takes me 2 or 3 days of low humidity weather in order to finish doing this with the push mower. I do miss my rider. But unless you got a shed that's mice proof, and that means I would have to take every damn thing out of my main shed and get rid of it, make the door wider and put the rider in there. I mean, I can't do that, and I won't do that. So, you know, this is, you know, basically the lawn. It really needs a lawn, but that's none of my business. Now, if I can find a mower, I don't have a truck anymore, and I've told you about that, so I don't need to have anybody ask me. Had to get rid of it because it was about $1,500 to $2,000 worth of work needed on the brakes. The clutches had to be done again and everything else. That's why I got rid of it. I gave it away. So unless I can find a rider for like $150, $200 at a yard sale, which is not going to happen, and if I did, it would have to be another $200, $300 to put into it. So that's going to defeat the purpose, and you're not going to buy new, even if I could afford it. This needs to be cut down here, simply because it would have to be kept outside, even if I could afford it. And you don't want John Deere. I watched a lot of Terrell Fixes All, and I can see all these John Deere tractors there. Everything's specialized and proprietary and an SOB to work on. I wouldn't want anything like that. I would like to get an old tractor, a small one, very small, with a mowing deck on it, with an old-fashioned engine, like my generator has. You remember this guy. An old-fashioned tractor with an engine like this that does not have a shroud on it, open fins, so that the mice aren't going to get in here because everything's open. That's the kind of engine I would like to get for a riding mower. Because all these engines that they have and all these rider mowers now, they all got the cowling over them, and what happens is the mice build up a nest on top of the flywheel. Of course, this engine's horizontal shaft, of course, but I'm using this as an example that that's what happens. So that's why I always kept the shroud off the engine on the rider. And even so, it was my fault for not renewing the mothballs, and that's why the thing got destroyed with 2 inches of black tarry mouse piss and crap. So that's why I had to get rid of it. I think probably putting a set of wheels on it, whether that's going to solve that problem in that area over there, that I don't know. I really need wider wheels. Let me take you one time over to the mower and show you. I would like to get wider wheels. But the axle, the bolt that's here is only so long, so you know, you get a wider wheel, then you're going to need a longer axle, so that's more expense. And where this is, I got this shut off because I use this for, I closed this off 20 years ago. That's so I can cut, mulch leaves. I don't use the discharge on it, so I just put sheet metal there. But if you get wider wheels, fine, because when you get up close to something to cut, the wheel can come out a little more, and wider wheels would not interfere with this handle here. I'd like to get something wider than this, and the only ones that I know of that would be wider would be like the rubber tires that Harbor Freight sells. They're like $3.99, but I think those are 10-inch. I can probably get away with 8-inch. These are 7-inch. These wheels are 7 inches here. I measured them. So if I got 8-inch, you're only going to be up another inch here. You can see I can get 3 fingers in there. Okay? But when you're pushing this out there on the front lawn, this is digging in. Right here. So all the wheels, you see, all the wheels are shot. They're all, as a guy I knew used to say, they're out to lunch. That was a saying he had, your wheels are out to lunch. And I remember when I first bought my 63 Ford Galaxy, the bumper was all bent up on it and everything. I bought it in 1967. For $250 because it was all smashed up and the bumper was out to lunch, the guy told me. So I replaced the bumper on it. Well, that's the saying he used. So yeah, these wheels are out to lunch, all right. The question is, do I want to, as I said, do I want to put money into this? If this will last another 3 or 4 years, probably I'll be dead probably by then, who knows. Maybe worth it. If I get a brand new mower, well, I would have to stick this outside and put the new one in here. But you're not going to get, gone are the days of getting a used mower, a new mower rather, for $100. Oh yeah, you can get used ones at yard sales, but most likely you're buying somebody else's problem, carburetor problems and everything, and I can't fix carburetor problems. The only thing I can do is spray them with carburetor cleaner, carburetor's on the other side, clean the air filter, which is what I did on this morning, and basically that's it. Maybe removing the bowl, although this is not giving me any trouble. You always run the risk of breaking the gasket, and then you have to go and hunt around because there are no more small engine mechanics in my area anymore. They're long gone for quite a few years now, so everything is throwaway. So that's where I'm at right now. I think what I am going to do is run down to Home Depot. Well, I think I'll drive down. If I run down, it's about 5 miles from here, and I don't think I'll make it. My wife's always telling me that. When I say, I think I'm going to run down to Harbor Freight, or I think I'm going to run down to Home Depot, or I'm going to run out to get a cup of coffee, and my wife would say, why not take the car? Good idea. All right. So once again, I just want to make an announcement to all my viewers. Once again, I have all comments pending approval. For some reason, and I'm repeating myself because people get offended because they think that I am deliberately not allowing them to come true. Some of them come true anyways, like Doug, Jim Asbell, K1ZEK. I can name probably 10 or 15 of my regulars who come through without me approving them, okay, even though I have all the comments approved. But most of my viewers, regular viewers that comment all the time, have to be approved. If I'm not at the computer over the weekend during the nice weather, I am out. I am not on the computer. So then it really irked me, and I blocked this particular individual. I've had it with him anyways. I'm spending more time trying to explain something to him. And that's the reason. When I'm called a liar, that you are at the computer, you know, even though I said I am not, the reason some comments come through is simply because they just do. I have never said so-and-so can come through automatically. I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I spent hours in the past, nothing recently, trying to figure out, well, let all my regular viewers come through automatically without pending approval. There is no setting for that. I can't find it, and I'm not going to fight with it, okay? It irks me because when I'm called a liar, I've had it. And that's as simple as that. I know I said I'd end it, but, you know, I have to make it clear to the rest of you viewers out there who, you know, may be offended because how come John Doe's comment came through and I posted a long time before that and it didn't come through? Well, because for some reason, some of my viewers come through automatically without me approving the comments. Others, and most, about 90% of the others, all have to be approved. And I shouldn't have to do that. My regular viewers should not have to be approved, but there is no setting for that. So that's the end of that, and I'm not going to get into that and get into that complicated stuff. YouTube changes things anyways. So I'm not going to worry about it. What I got to do now is this is a priority simply because I do have to maintain the lawn. If I don't have at least a push mower, I'm not going to be able to do it, and then I'd have to pay the park owner to mow it. And all the years I've lived here, I've never had to have him come back here and mow it. There has been times that he got his rider out and cut the front lawn for me, but I don't expect that. And when I had my rider going, I was more than happy to do the whole shebang. I never had a problem. But now I got to do everything by hand. At 75 years old and ready to kick the bucket any day, it's getting hard for me to do it. But somebody's got to do it. And no, my son cannot operate equipment, power equipment. That's what I mean by personal things. That's what I had said to this particular individual. We don't have personal questions. He's asked me personal questions about why my son don't drive. I'm not going to get into that. There is a reason, and I am not going to announce it on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'm going to be going to Home Depot now, and I'll decide whether I want to put wheels on this or not. It might make it a little easier, especially if I go with 8-inch wheels, and I think I can get away with that as long as the spindle size is the same. And if not, then I'll have to take them out and get bolts, but I think the spindle size might be the same. I'm not sure. They may be 1/2 inch. I really don't know until I take the wheels off, or at least one of the wheels off. Take care, everybody, and thanks for watching.